Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I am so glad to see everybody this beautiful day. It's a Friday. It's the day before the weekend. I hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful week so far. And today we're going to be talking about how to reclaim your voice and your power after narcissistic abuse. And so hard to do that sometimes, right? You're feeling like that is so difficult to do. And so it's going to be really, really powerful. And I have a co-presenter with me today who I'm super excited to have with me. So hold on one second.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, so I've got JJ Cox with me, who's one of our high conflict negotiation coaches, who's amazing. So welcome to this presentation and doing this with me, JJ.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so excited. So happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm so happy that you're here with me too. And I would love to know where everybody is tuning in from. Just put it in the chat over here and let us know. Or the comments, I guess is a better way to put it. So let's see. It's telling me something about can't post some comments to some destination. You know what? I'm going to just let it flow because we're good. And I'm seeing people from Arizona and okay, I'm trying to share this. You should be able to share it with just sharing the link. So anyway, I'm so excited to have JJ with me today because JJ is one of our high conflict negotiation certified coaches. And she also is one of us. She's somebody who has powerfully dealt with narcissists in her life and didn't always feel like that.
Yes, really. It's been a big transformation.
Yeah. So I know many of you out there are probably feeling like you're at the effect of the drama, the trauma, the chaos, the gaslighting, the manipulation, the moving of the goalposts, the constant emotional silencing in a lot of ways. And you just feel like you lose yourself at the hands of narcissists because of their constant tactics, the gaslighting, making you doubt your reality, the silent treatment, which pushes you into isolation, and you feel like everybody else thinks this person is great, or nobody else sees it, so you don't end up telling people because a lot of people just think, oh, it's not that bad. And I see Steve Smith here. He's one of our coaches also. So excited to see you here, Steve. And then, there's the love bombing and the devaluation, love bombing, devaluation, love bombing, devaluation. And that creates the codependency because of the dopamine, cortisol. And so you actually almost get addicted to that person. And then the triangulation. They bring in flying monkeys or people that make you feel like you're not, you're the only one. You're the crazy one. And they strip away your voice. These tactics, they strip away your voice and erode your confidence and make you feel powerless, make you feel voiceless, make you feel like defeated. So the path to reclaiming your voice is what I want to talk about today. And JJ so beautifully, powerfully stepped up to be a part of this presentation today. And I want to go back, JJ, and talk about where you were before you joined the coach program and where you are now.
Yes, thank you. So, yeah, when I began it had been maybe a few years in which I was in a state of isolation, not being able to trust anyone, um, just going through PTSD and the difficulty of being able to maintain some sense of grounding. Um, and now, I saw this program and I had this deep longing to be able to help people just like me to get out of this situation, which I had done, but I still hadn't recovered from it. And being able to be a part of the community is a huge part of why I'm able to speak and feel a sense of, I got this now. I'm going to keep growing, and I'm going to keep being able to empower myself and others at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful to see how far you've come. I mean, really, there's a calm about you now, a peace about you, a confidence about you. And how would you say that you got there?
Yes. So, one, the resources in this program have shown me, one, heart coherence. So, tapping into the heart space and bringing out the good feelings of gratitude, love, peace, and joy, stuff that I couldn't feel before. And so it's grown. And now I'm able to, meet with that high conflict personality and not be totally overwhelmed with my body's reaction of fear. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So part of what we teach in the program is not just high conflict negotiation skills, which we do a lot of that too, but we also teach how to actually heal yourself. And then you can go on to heal others and help others. And so you're talking about the heart coherence. So one of the things that you can do is understand that your heart is actually ahead of your brain. We think that the brain is running everything, but it's really the heart that's connected to the vagus nerve. The heart's connected to your breathing. It's everything. And your heart knows if there's something off. And then we oftentimes discount it, but you know how you can sense, like if somebody is walking behind you or if somebody's looking at you or whatever, that's all your heart, because your heart is actually ahead of your brain. And so what we teach is these coherence techniques, like meditating on love, or a feeling of being loved, or a person that you love, or it could be a place that you love, or whatever it is, to raise your vibrational energy so that you will then be more in coherence with your brain. And when you do that, then you actually become more powerful. You become more persuasive, because people will think what you tell them to think, which we talk about that too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And fluffing for favor, vomit later.
Yeah.
That strategy. I'm able to co-parent with a high conflict personality and actually see results that are in the best interest of our child, instead of just just having to beg, and feeling like needing to beg, like, please listen to what our child needs. No more.
Yeah. So I see people here watching from South Africa and Vegas and all kinds of places. And, I think so many people here can identify with you and how, you felt. And somebody is saying, I've been with a narcissist for 1 3/4 years. I'm taking my power back.
Yes.
So, yeah. And so one of the things that we do is teach coherence. We also really talk about visualization and picturing yourself as the person you want yourself to be, and writing out, like, by December 31st, 2024, this is what has happened in my life, and this is who I am, and who's showing up to the meeting, who's showing up to the conversation, who's showing up in whatever situation you're in. Is it your powerful self, your true self, the self you were meant to be? Or is it the trauma self, the person that you know lived under the effect of whoever? Because the true self of you, you know, when you first came out into the world, you didn't have all these fears. You didn't have all these doubts. You know, I think babies have two fears, which are, like, I think falling is one of them. And I can't even remember what the other one is, but it's nothing to do um, with, you know, what, wondering what people are going to think of you, or what people are going to say, or any of those things, right? And so all that happens as a result of life. And so we talk a lot about not giving somebody the power to affect your emotions, not giving them that power. And we talk about having that invisible shield down around you, and starting to see them as a toddler having a tantrum on the floor. And before we started this call, you were telling me about triggers. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. So just being now, it's been 5 years since I've left the high conflict relationship. And one major trigger that remains is getting ready in the morning with my daughter. It puts me back in the early years of getting ready to drop her off. See, my voice is already shaking. So getting ready to drop her off with her dad, and just struggling to be there on time, knowing that this is an enemy I'm going to meet with, and any mistake I make is going to show up. It's going to show up in some court motion, or who knows what. And so what I really want is to show up as a grounded, joyful mom who is confident that we're going to get there. No matter if we're a little late, it's okay, you know, but it's a big fear of being late, and somebody's going to, you know, keep track, and there's going to be consequences.
Yeah. And so it's so common, these triggers. And I was telling JJ about this podcast that I have, which any of you can listen to, with Shikati Shima, who is also a client. And he talks about, and he's this big masculine guy, and he talks about how when he first left his narcissist, he was so triggered by the sound of people coming up the stairs, because he had situations with his narcissist where she would come up the stairs, open the door, turn on all the lights in the middle of the night, pull his covers off, and start yelling at him. And he would always pick nights where he had something important the next day or something. And so just feeling that sound would trigger in him, like, heart rate, sweats, fear, you know, like, oh, and then he'd have to remind himself, no, I'm safe. And so, you know, one of the things that we talk about doing is putting your hands over your heart in the morning, and just say, I'm safe, I'm loved, I'm powerful, you know, we're here, and I'm not in this anymore. And they don't have power over me. and I'm worthy. And just remembering that is why these boundaries are so essential, because they defined where you end and they begin. And you can start to look at them like as if you're an observer and just say, that's their trauma and it's not mine. It's not mine to take on. It's not mine to carry. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put that down now. And, of course, do your best to be on time or whatever it is. But if you're not on time, or if you're not everything, whatever, it doesn't have anything to do with you or your value or who you are powerfully. And they're going to, my brother was dealing with a narcissist for years. And he used to say if he was early, he was a stalker. If he was late, he was a deadbeat. So he would have to literally wait on the side of the road, like on a different street, so that he would pull into the driveway exactly at 6 p.m. or whatever the time was, because he was so worried about what was going to be said or done. And, at the end of the day, they're going to find fault with whatever. That's because that's who they are. And so just realizing that your value, your worth, who you are has nothing to do with what they say or they do. Period. End of story.
It's a boundary.
It's a boundary. Say, thanks for the feedback. Your position is noted.
I can see that you're upset.
Yeah, you can see that you're the one that's upset. But non-emotional responses are really, really important so that you can remove yourself from being manipulated and just be like Teflon and just say, you know what, that's not coming on over here. That's not on me. And so you can say things like, that's your perspective. I know my truth. And just stay calm, stay in control. Short responses are the best responses, because anything more than that is what they're looking for. They're looking for that supply. And as long as they have that supply source from you, they're going to continue to want to be there, because it's like they're drug addicts basically for supply.
Keep squeezing, get the juice.
Exactly. So tell us about how you were in this stress and you're doing so much better now, and the cortisol and the stress management, and how the program really helped you reclaim your purpose and your power.
Yes, so now in managing stress and cortisol, I know how to anchor to a moment in which I felt empowered, which I felt on top of things, and bring that into the moment. And preemptive self-care every day, something, getting up a little bit earlier, or if that doesn't happen, then making the time later on in the day to do some breathing, deep breathing, meditation, walking, all, several different practices to help my body recover and stay grounded.
Yeah. How has the program helped you with that?
Oh, in our class clinics and classes with you, being able to work with our other coaches, our coach community, and receive support from people who understand what's going on, and even being able to give the support too. So this beautiful, loop of growth and connection is huge, to be able to talk about what's going on and get others' perspective, is truly healing.
Yeah. So for people who don't even necessarily want to coach, even though it does do a lot for coaching, what would you say to them if they just like are looking for a way to have good knowledge, resources, support, community? What would you say to them?
I would say that my classmates, I've seen some of them, right now they're not going for the coaching, but they've had some real big situations that together we've been able to process. We've been able to call and help them take action and get out of, actually even break free. I know one moving out and getting out finally. It's incredible to see what this program does for those who are not trying to do coaching but just need to change their situation.
Yeah. Um, Talk about my curated negotiation GPT.
ah
Yeah.
the Yeah, that's a big one, as a resource for both, of who are seeking to be coaches and who are just in the midst of it and need support. I'm really excited because the other day I hopped on it and I looked, I plugged in one of my stipulated agreement with my daughter's father, and was able to see there's something I missed in terms of gathering leverage, and I got super excited because I feel like it'll save me tons of money when having to deal with the legal side of things with maybe an attorney or a legal paraprofessional. I can stay on track of things and understand a document completely and fully, even when I have all this brain fog going on. So yeah, it's having like a legal assistant by your side.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm so proud of you because of how you are taking your pain and turning it into purpose. And you've already started coaching some people.
Yes.
So talk about that.
Yeah, I have two clients, and just through word of mouth so far. And it's amazing to see them make the connection that it's not them that's creating this situation, and to feel empowered that, oh, okay, it's not me, it's them. And so understanding this personality is key for them to now take actions, to create more boundaries. And yeah, I just love being able to be that person to hear what's truly going on in their lives, and give them that validation that this is totally wrong, and you're not going to take this anymore, and you don't have to do it alone.
Hmm. Yeah. And giving them the tools because you can teach them now how to create leverage.
Yes. Yes. And my, oh my, if I had known that in the beginning, then I could have possibly not had all those attorney's fees. So yeah, it is big to be able to save money when someone's trying to take you down that way, and stay on top of things. Mhm.
Yeah. So good. Isn't she inspirational? I mean, I want to hear what you guys think. She's so inspirational. Kevin Posey is here. Hi, Kevin. Kevin is one of our coaches also, and Kevin is saying focus on what outcome you are wanting to get in the end. They will use court to punish you and abuse you while they can. There are legal ways to combat this. I'm not an attorney. Get advice on how you can deflect ridiculous filings, such as a motion for protective order. You can do that even without an attorney, and there are resources out there like Rebecca Zung's books and programs. Thank you, Kevin. We just talked about that yesterday, and how you can use my curated GPT to help you with a lot of these things. So I wanted to invite all of you. I am doing a free webinar next week. You can sign up at highconflictcert.com. I'm doing that on October 16th. So all of you, I would love to have you join me for that. And if you're interested now in just talking to somebody about being a coach, and you're like, wait a minute, this sounds pretty amazing, go to RebeccaZung.com/apply, and I'll create a banner for that. But while I'm doing this, talk to us a little bit about, you know, somebody is saying here, they have a question, saying that, let me just go back to the actual question. Hold on 1 second. Let me just put this up. The question was, where was it?
Thank you, Kevin.
Yes, Kevin's the greatest. Somebody was asking, trying to divorce my narc, but she and her lawyer are using the classic stall routine and won't come to the table to negotiate. What would you do? So what would you do?
Okay, so first thing is it's important to notify the court and work with your attorney to ask for what are the options. Can there be a motion filed? I can't give any legal advice, but to ask the attorney, can we compel them to negotiate and file a motion so that the court is aware this is going on? And there can also be a conference called to see the status, of the case, so everyone becomes aware that this is happening. And then making sure that you have documentation ready for when the meeting is called or the motion goes forward with the attorney, that you're able to provide the evidence of efforts to stall the negotiation.
Yeah, I would add to that, you know, if the narcissist feels that you have enough against them and you're threatening their diamond level source of supply, they will want to come to the table. They will want to negotiate with you, and you will be able to get what you want. And it's a matter of building that leverage, building that strategy, building that, what I call invisible fence around them. And then they don't know that it's there until you decide to show it. And at that point, there's nowhere else for them to go. And the reason why they're still, you know, twisting in the wind out there is because you haven't gotten to that place yet. But once you do, then they will absolutely come to the table and they will settle. And we talk about ways to get you there in the program. I mean, it would take like an hour and a half session, but basically the whole idea of it is that you create your strategy, you figure out where it is that you want to go, then you build that leverage that threatens a source of supply that's more important for them to keep than the supply that they get from jerking you around, which is that coal level supply. And how do you do that? You do that through your documentation, You do that through summaries of lies, inconsistent statements, summaries of refusals to do things, times that they were late, times that they were saying things that are counter to the face that they show. And then, figuring out what other types of ways that you can squeeze them. So is it a deposition? Is it depose to expose? Is it discovery request? Whatever it is. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. But then figuring out, do you now need to file a motion to compel, a motion to enforce, a motion for contempt? You want to be on the offensive.
Yes.
So the links again, RebeccaZung.com/apply or highconflictcert.com to come again next week. Those are the two links. Would love to see all of you. Would love to have you. For anybody who's on the fence, what would you say, JJ?
For anyone who's on the fence?
Yeah.
I'd say that it's transforming, healing, empowering, and the community that we get to be a part of is super safe and supportive. It's worth that investment to be connected and held by your community.
Love that. I love that. And even as you're saying that, I see all sorts of people from the community cheering you on. Kevin is cheering you on, saying what a great job you're doing, and several other people here. So people who are, I see Steve Smith here. So a lot of the coaches are here supporting you, just because that's what we do.
So glad. Shout out, Steve. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So I am, maybe next week we'll do something just on stall tactics, because I think that's something a lot of people are talking about and having issues with. It's that whole moving of the goalpost thing. And I think that that's something that is very, very common because, and then what they will do, by the way, is they will say it's your fault that it's stalling and it's taking so long, even though it's them. So again, it's the gaslighting. It's gaslighting.
The diamond level supply. Yeah, got to find a way to switch it onto that instead of that coal level supply. Thanks, Rebecca.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I see Malika here. Hi, Malika. It's always so good to see you. So somebody PD saying write down those links. So I hope that you're seeing them flashing there. It's RebeccaZung.com/apply to go ahead and book a call, or it's highconflictcert.com for the masterclass that we're going to do next week on October 16th. And I'd love to see you for both. So, yeah. I mean, part of the reason why, Jimmy Petrick is here and saying, great job, JJ. I love our community.
Jimmy.
We have the best community. I run to Thursdays because it's so good for me too. So I am so proud of you, JJ. You are crushing it.
Rebecca. Thank you so much. I'm so honored and so blessed, feeling so blessed. Thank you for this opportunity, for being my teacher.
Yeah, you are crushing it. And I mean, to see, your growth and your metamorphosis since you started here, it's like you came in as the person in the cocoon or whatever, and now you're like the butterfly. I mean, really, it's amazing to see. So, yeah. So thank you for doing this with me. And hopefully this was helpful for all of you with how to reclaim your voice and your power after narcissistic abuse. These are just some of the things that you can do. And how often are these lives? Well, I try to go live here. I'm trying to go once a week now, but the masterclass is every few weeks or so. So definitely join us, Kurt, on Wednesday of next week. We'd love to meet you. And somebody saying, somebody's refusing to sign papers. Yeah, that's every time I hear stories like that, I think we haven't built the leverage. Because once you do, you'll be free. You'll be free. Janice says, both of you are so awesome. Rory said, yes, helpful. It was beautiful, strong. Look at you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope to meet all of you next week, or you can go ahead and book a call on one of our team's calendar right now, RebeccaZung.com/apply. And, the reason why we book calls is because it is a community, and we want to make sure that everybody who's part of our community is supportive and caring and compassionate and for each other. So that's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. So I hope to meet all of you super soon. Thank you, JJ. You rock.
Thank you, Becca, rock star. Yeah, I the only thing I regret is not having signed up sooner.
Love it. All right. Love you and love all of you. Thank you all for being here, and God bless you.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Hope to meet you soon.
Yeah.